بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا وإمامنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So before we get started with the actual topic, something that I used to do some years ago when I had a weekly class in Philadelphia, which is to make a brief, quick summary of the khutbah of today. Today's khutbah focused on the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, collected by Imam Ahmed and others, and Nasa'i, many others, an authentic hadith, that one day a woman came to her asking for a question, a fatwa, complaining about one of her family members who happened to be her father. The version of the hadith that we mentioned in the khutbah was directly from Musnad Ahmed. In the Sunan al-Nasa'i, it states that she reached Aisha's home and Aisha told her, Ijlisi hatta ya'ti an-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sit and wait. The Prophet will come. You can ask him what you just asked me, and then he'll tell you what to do. And that's when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came, فَجَعَلَ الْأَمْرَ إِلَيْهَا. And he gave her the option. So the hadith states, زَوَّجَنِي أَبِي ibn أَخِيهِ لِيَرْفَعْ بِي خَسِيسَتَهُ. That my father married me off to a relative, a member of the tribe or the clan, a distant, ibn أخِيهِ, the son of his brother, his nephew. لِيَرْفَعْ بِي خَسِيسَتَهُ. He didn't marry me off with my best interest in mind, but instead he only married me off for him and his own gain, and his own elevation, the elevation of his own status. One version of the hadith states, وَأَنَا كَارِهَةٌ. And I wasn't okay with this. I didn't like it. Another version doesn't mention وَأَنَا كَارِهَةٌ. Alright, so the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, upon hearing the woman's words and her complaint, he gave her the option. You wish to stay in the marriage or not, it's your choice. And then she said, فَقَدْ أَجَزْتُ مَا صَنَعَ أَبِي. In reality, I don't mind what my father did. Meaning now, come to think of it, it's not that bad. وَلَكِنْ أَرَدْتُ أَن تَعْلَمَ. But instead, the only reason why I'm mentioning this to you and asking you this, complaining to you, I want other women to know أَن لَيْسَ لِلْآبَاءِ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٍ وَفِي رِوَايَةٍ أَن أَعْلَمَ أَنَا عَلَى النِّسَاءِ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٌ. Do the women have any say or any choice in who they marry and who they get married to? So there are many benefits that pertain to this hadith. Fiqh benefits, ahkam fiqhiyya, rulings, halal haram. And of course there are many adab, manners, that pertain to this hadith. And umur ijtima'iyya, social problems that pertain to the hadith. And that was the focus of the khutbah. The khutbah's focus was not on the fiqh rulings, Abu Hanifa, Shafi'i, Malik, Ahmed. Can a father marry his daughter off? She's young, she's never been married before, she's a virgin. Is there such thing as an arranged marriage in Islam? Can a man arrange a marriage for his daughter before she's of age? And when she reaches age, if she says, no, I don't want to be married to him, can she say no? Can she get out of that? A big part of many cultures around the world, arranged marriages and fixed marriages. I have a daughter, you have a son, we're close friends. Let's make the marriage right now. Let's solidify our togetherness right now. And then of course there are marriages for political reasons. We have two clans, we're fighting each other. We're at war with each other, there's a civil war. What better way of making peace than my daughter marries your son, and as the final declaration of peace, we can no longer fight each other. We weren't supposed to be fighting each other. We were Muslims. But for argument's sake, the weapons are down. We are now what? Family. But my daughter doesn't want to be in this marriage. Her aims and ideals of statehood and politics aren't like those of mine. She says, I don't care about that. I don't want to be married to this man. Is it lawful for a father to make that type of marriage? And if it is there a difference between a saghira and al-baligha? A girl who's young versus a girl who's of age. She's past the age of puberty. That is a fiqh discussion in itself. All right? Secondly, we learn from this hadith is that when the woman is of age, she cannot, under any circumstance, be forced into any marriage. There's no difference of opinion regarding that. A, she's of age, she's not saghira. And secondly, she refuses. As far as being young, that goes back to the previous discussion. And as far as her agreeing when she reaches age, it can be valid. But now she's 16, she's 18, she's 20, and she says no. Does the marriage still stand or not? That's the second main ruling. Number three, the third main fiqh ruling is that there are times that women have the trump card and the biggest say-so in the marriage, trumping even that of the father, the wali. The fourth main fiqh ruling taken from this hadith, tartibul awliya. Which wali comes first? Is it the father or the grandfather? Is it the father, the grandfather, or the son? Is it the father, the grandfather, or the maternal or paternal uncle? And if a woman was married before and she has a son, does her son take the primary role as wali and not the actual father? And then, of course, last but not least, the well-known madhab of Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, and others, not just Abu Hanifa. Other scholars held the view that a woman of age who has solid common sense and basic bearings can marry off herself. What is the ruling on that? That's all that can be taken from that hadith. The hadith says, Zawwajani, he married me. All right, that's done. Speaking about the fiqh. As far as the manners from the hadith, then first and foremost, we take the importance and the virtue of asking the people of knowledge, seeking a fatwa from those who are qualified. She didn't make the decision herself. She didn't fight and argue with her father, but she went and she asked those who would know. And the second manner we take from this hadith is knowing your status and your value, knowing your place, and not proceeding and superseding what position you have. Aisha did not answer the question, but she told the woman to wait, be patient. Somebody who knows more than me will come. And that was the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Another ruling or manner or etiquette, piece of etiquette we take from this hadith is that the mufti can make a ruling without hearing from the second side. It is not a condition that you have to hear from the other person to make a ruling. Many people, they think this. You didn't hear my side of the story. I didn't have to. Qadi is a different story. Qadi making the marriage is broken up. That's a different story. But he gave her the ruling based off of what he heard. And he took her story face value. He did not say, let me hear from your father. Are you lying? Are you telling the truth? That's a good thing. Sometimes you have to. But it isn't something that is an absolute must. And many men, fathers, they abuse this right. Such as a woman has major problems. She goes to the Imam of the Masjid. The Imam of the Masjid tells her what needs to be said. The husband finds out about it and he says, I didn't give you permission to go to the Imam and talk about me. Who gives someone permission to complain about somebody? I didn't give you the right to go to the local sheikh and ask about me mistreating you. I never allowed you to do that. So that's a problem. And that goes back to the whole concept of the wali and walis abusing their status. And that is a social discussion from that hadith and that khutbah. لِيَرْفَعْ بِي مِنْ خَسِيسَتِهِ or لِيَرْفَعْ بِي خَسِيسَتَهُ. For him to elevate his status is we have to be wary and careful of abusing Islam and using Islam and sugarcoating our selfish desires and goals and aims in the name of Islam. Many of us, we do this. This war has nothing to do with Islam. It's about personal tribal fighting. This power struggle in the masjid has nothing to do with Quran and Sunnah. It's about dunya. But obviously the biggest and strongest weapon is Islam. You follow me, you rally behind me, you take my side. Allah will love you, you'll go to Jannah. So many people, they abuse the religion and they don't have the necessary ikhlas. They aren't sincere. Then how does the average Muslim know who to listen to, who to follow, who's right, who's wrong? Only Allah truly knows. But there are always signs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never ever leaves you without signs and clues. There's always signs and clues. But we choose to ignore them. If you think about the things that happened to you in your life, the misfortune that befell you, I got messed up, I went here, I did this. If you actually retracted, hindsight, there were what? There were signs, but you chose to ignore those signs. There was a red flag from day one with this marriage, but you were blinded. Oh, it's nothing. Someone advised you. You clearly saw something that was off with this person. So always follow the clues and the signs. So when a person is forcing you to take their side immediately and to jump into the fight, that's a sign that they're lacking sincerity. When a person is only one-sided, everything for me, me, that's also a sign that they don't have sincerity. And in reality, they don't want the deen, but they only want a personal gain. And we all know what happens to the Muslims and to the Muslim countries when people fight for worldly things in the name of the deen. All right? Another benefit we take from this hadith is the permissibility of asking questions on the behalf of others. The woman was okay with it, but she wanted the other women to know. Last but not least, another major factor from this authentic hadith is you removing yourself from the battlefield. It's not about me, it's bigger than me. I represent something, I stand for something, and you have to think about the soldier that's going to come after you. So right now, my father is forcing me into a marriage. Just do it. Please, your father. Be okay. Your father, he did so much for you. Just do it. And that may be a good thing. But if she allows the father to do whatever he wants to do and disregard her rights, it would now become a what? A sunnah. The father will go to his friends and say, see, I told you she would listen. She just made a couple of complaints, but I told you, it would fizz out. And then he gets an idea. I can do the same with my daughter. And the third and the fourth. And the next thing you know, in less than a generation, it's concrete and it can't be changed. And it goes against Quran and Sunnah, but it's the culture. And the first thing that people are going to say is, well, such and such did it. And such did it. She got over it. She married somebody that she didn't want to. What's the big deal? And this is one of the proofs of the non-Muslims today who are busy with killing and slaughtering and butchering the Muslims around the world. When they're asked, how many thousands of people did you just kill and destroy, women and children? They say, well, they did it. You guys carpet bombed Iraq. Is this not the case or not? Not it's right or wrong. You did it. Don't criticize us for doing it. Why are you only picking and pointing out? So you have to make inkar. That's the moral of the story. And it's not always the best thing to do for you to just be humble and to forgive. Even though you don't mind it, but it's principle. I can't allow it to be done. Not because of me, but there are 5 people behind me that really will be hurt and harmed. So I have to say, la yajuz. It's haram. You can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm here working in this masjid as the imam. You guys fire me, mistreat me, abuse me. I said, no problem, big deal. I can go to another masjid. It's no biggie. There's tons of masjids in New York City. But wait a second. If I allow them to mistreat me, the next imam is going to come behind me and what? They're going to think that they can get away with it and they can do it. And he is not as tough as I am. It's going to break him in half. He's going to stop teaching. He's going to quit being an imam. So I'm going to stand up and say something, not because of what? Not because of me, but because of the what? The principle. And that is when she said, Aratu an ta'lam an-nisa. I want the women to know what is their right that Allah gave them, what the father has as a right, and that which exceeds his haqq. And obviously that leads to the topic of the lecture, when we exceed our boundaries, everything falls into chaos. All right, khair inshallah. A few years ago, I did a khutbah, it was khutbah al-Eid. And I did the khutbah based off of the 18th letter. Abdul Rahim, what's the 18th letter of the alphabet? Habib. English, brother, not Arabic. English. What's the 18th letter in the English language? O? R. You sure about that? Or maybe? That's a guess or? All right, Tayyip. Letter R. So I did this khutbah on the letter R. And I used the letter R 4 times. I multiplied it 4 times. So we have R in English, not Arabic. So women, men, children, father, mother, husband, wife, child, family unit. That's the lecture tonight, right? How do we live as a family unit? How do we establish and maintain an Islamic household as a whole unit? How do we live and coexist and flourish with each other? I want to get married, I want to stay married, and I want to be happily married. I want to raise Muslim children that are happy and peaceful. How do I get this? How do I obtain this? Through the letter R. Number 1, roles. Number 2, responsibilities. Number 3, rights. And number 4, rewards. Number 1, your role. R-O-L-E. Not like R-O-L-L, a roll, bread. Your role, your position. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. Rose, okay. He's thinking romantic. MashaAllah. Barakallah, big sheikh. Alhamdulillah. I see. Allahu Akbar. Tayyib. Jazakumullah khairan. So we have rose, the flower, huh? Tayyib. So we have a role. We have a responsibility, what you have to do. Not what you get. Not what's at the, what you must do. Number 3, what do you deserve yourself from other people playing their roles, their positions? And last but not least, the most important thing, what is your reward? What do I get for knowing my position, playing my position, not overstepping and playing someone else's position? It's my right. The right is supposed to come to me. You're supposed to pass me the ball. Yo, I'm open. Pass me the ball. That's my what? That's my, no, that's not my role. That's my right. That's my right. I'm open. You're supposed to what? Give me the ball. Not give it to your favorite person who's clearly double guarded. There are 2 people that are on them, regardless of the sport. It's common sense. I'm open. I'm open. That's my right. I'm a player. I'm supposed to be able to score. And last but not least, what happens if I score? A basket, a kick, a goal, a field goal, whatever the sport may be. So let us break down these 4 R's and let us look at the family unit. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Role, responsibility, right, reward. All right, so what is the role of the father? And what isn't the role of the father? What is the role of the husband? What are you supposed to be doing? What position are you supposed to be playing? And how do you play that position? What is the responsibility? What are you required to do? Just because you play a position doesn't mean you're going to do your responsibility every single play in every single game. But if and when this happens, that's what you got to do. Your security, right? Your role is to stand guard. There's nothing happening. If someone tries to rob a bank, you must, etc., etc., etc. Everybody understand this or not? This person robbed the bank. He shot the teller. You put out your firearm. You killed him in the street. They want to persecute you. He's a murderer. You say, no, it was my what? No, not my role. It was my right to use lethal force. And then, is this man celebrated as a hero or is he demonized as a villain? He's supposed to be rewarded for being heroic and gallant, selfless. He put his life on the line for the protection of others. So, the husband, the father, the man, he must know his role. And if you don't know your role, how are you going to play it? How do you know your responsibilities? You don't even know what position you're supposed to be. And how many roles does a man play in the marriage and in the household and in the family? Number 2, the woman, the mother. What role does she play? And who wears the most hats? The man or the woman? Who plays more positions? Whose job is bigger and heavier, the mother or the father of the household? Mother? Mother? For sure. Yes, the unit. The mother? Everything. Who has the most in the closet? Who has the most hats? Today I wear this one, today I wear that one. Who has the most hats?
I have more hats, but more
Tell you. Who has the bigger wardrobe? You say the man.
The man is supposed to.
The man is supposed to. Okay. All right. All right. No problem. What is the role of the child? Is this your job? Are you supposed to be doing this? The eldest child, the youngest child. Can you tell your parents if they're wrong? Is that permissible? Is that from the deen? Or is that haram? You can't, is that disrespect? You talk back. You tell your father, la abi, that's haram. You can't do that. Is that your role? You're not my sheikh. You're not in charge of me. What is the responsibility of the father? Not a choice. I don't feel like it today. Or you're a bad wife. You don't deserve it. This is your responsibility. You must do this no matter what. You're winning, you're losing, you're a professional athlete. You have to play this position. This is what you're supposed to do. Then what are the rights of the father, of the husband, of the man? That could be the lecture in itself. Most marriages, if you look at all four of these, I could personally guarantee, and Allah knows best, you'll find the cracks and the major problems in the marriage is going to be felt in one of these four things. Being unknown, or being violated. I know, but I'm still going to do the opposite. I know this is your job, but I'm going to tell you how to do your job and take your job over. Or I'm going to ignore my job, ignore my role, ignore my responsibility, and demand my rights. Or, the man or the woman plays the role, fulfills the responsibilities, doesn't beg too much for their rights, but isn't rewarded in the end. And that's when the person gives up and quits. I'm tired of being unappreciated. You're ungrateful, the man says to the woman. Or the woman says, you don't appreciate me. I'm here day and night with the children, and this is what you do, so on and so forth. So for sure, the breaking up of the family unit, whether it's a full breakup, talaq, divorce, or major problems within the household, unfortunately, you guys are married outwardly, but there's no love, there's no affection, there are no roses in the house. The flowers are dead. I come home from work, I eat, I go to sleep, I wake up and I leave the house. Is this not the case? It's a reality. Or we fight in front of the children, etc., 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 etc. You'll find the problem felt in one of these four. Modern day agenda. They are trying to blur the lines between these fours. There's no such thing as a role. Men can do this, women can do that. There is no such thing as a role by default. You may have to play a different role, but starting in the game, this is your position. If the quarterback is injured, you may have to throw the ball. You may have to pick up the ball and run with it, right? For football fans, on a punt return or a kickoff return, he's not supposed to be tackling people. But if the returner gets past everybody, he has to do what? He has to hit him, knock him out of bounds, grab his leg. He has to do something to stop the return. Even though that wasn't his original role, nor was that his original responsibility. Everyone understand this? That wasn't his job. All right, so that's the discussion in itself with regards to homosexuality, with regards to lesbianism, feminism, and with regards to confusing the people and getting them to think and to feel that there's no such thing as a role in the family unit. There's no such thing. All right, that's a problem in itself. All right, Tayyib. So before we go to these four, which of the two has more responsibilities and more hats to wear, the mother or the father, and why? You got to prove why you feel that way. You said the mother. Why is that?
She takes care of the kids.
Are you married?
Me? No, I'm not married.
Khalas. Subhanallah. You weren't supposed to answer that question.
Yeah, that's
He was clearly trying to tackle you. تفضل.
You got a sister phone?
He's taking off it.
بسم الله.
So she takes care of the kids. She always has meals prepped, does the things at home. If she goes outside, takes them to appointments. If the husband is busy outside, she always has. So that's why she gets the most respect. Yeah.
Okay, all right, Tayyib. Why the father?
I like to see when you get married.
Allahu Akbar.
The father has one step above the woman.
Okay, so first and foremost, the father is وَلِلْرِجَالِ عَلَيْهِنَّ daraja. That by default, as a Muslim, as a believer, if you're a disbeliever, that's a different story. But if you believe in the Quran, the man by nature is superior. He has a notch above the woman. Allah made Adam first. Hawa came from Adam. So automatically, if he's better, you're saying he has more responsibility because he's higher?
Yeah, because we spoke the 2 months for the boys.
Okay.
For the girls, because he has more responsibility.
So the men get double the inheritance because they have to pay for and take care of more. All right, Tayyib, what else? The man is the shepherd. Tayyib? Anything else? Allah Akbar. He's supposed to protect. The woman doesn't protect the family? So let's look at it like this, irrespective of my opinion, but let's just look at it like this. The man is supposed to be the protector, the provider, etc., etc., etc. Beautiful. What happens if the man dies, gets incarcerated, gets captured, is on the battlefield? What does the woman now do with the household, the hut? What does she have to do? Someone's outside. What does the woman do? Or a stick or whatever, and she has to what?
Protect the house.
But can a man, if the woman dies suddenly, can a man breastfeed the children? Allah knows best.
But there is no, if she died, there is no children need to be breastfeeding. They already will grow up. They're small.
Okay, the moral of the story is, the point I'm trying to get to is, we all agree here that women and men have their separate roles, according to Quran and Hadith. Modern tradition, culture, that's a different story. But there should be gender roles in Islam. All right, but what happens if something happens to the man or the woman? How easy can one jump to the other side? Think about that now. Everyone understand this or not? So right now, the father isn't there. The mother's going to take the children to the dentist. The mother can get a job, correct or incorrect? The mother may have to face somebody, shoot somebody off. One could say that there are things that the mother can do if and when she's forced that the husband what? Cannot do, for argument's sake. And then obviously you can make the same argument, the opposite. All right, so right now, if the mother dies, the husband can remarry, or he has more than one wife. The woman, she has to wait until she remarries, so on and so forth. But is it the same, this other woman with the children? So for argument's sake, historically speaking, more men have left their roles for whatever reason. They died on a battlefield, and women historically have done what? In most cases, more than the opposite. Is this not the case? All of the men are killed in this village. The women are still there. And unfortunately, the women had to do what? The mother's role, and even if it was just temporarily. Can we agree on this or not? Even if it was just what? Temporarily. She tells the son, your father was this, your father was that, I want you to be like him, so on and so forth. So she has to do things more than what she was supposed to have done. The father can't necessarily what? He can't do that. He can't give her the love and the warmth from the mother. There's fatherly love and there's fatherly warmth. All right, that's just a discussion. That's just a discussion. All right, in brief, the role of the father.
How old are the kids?
Say that again?
It all depends how old are the kids.
Of course, but the older the kids, the more independent they are. And the more independent, the less they need their, meaning them, the hen sitting on top of the egg. Yani. Obviously, you need your parents even when you're 40, 50 years old. You need guidance. You need support. It never stops. All right, Tayyib. So what is the role of the father in Islam? And if you answer the question, you have to be ready to back it up with Quran or Hadith. I may not ask you, but you got to be prepared. What is the first role of the father? Quickly. Provide. What's the proof? That the man must provide. What does it say in the Quran? Ar-rijalu qawwamuna. Men are the maintainers. How can you maintain something without no what? You can't maintain the masjid unless there's what? There's money. All right, Tayyib. Number 2, quickly. The second role of the father. Knowledge. To teach the people? Ilm. Why is that his role? Why is that his duty? He's the imam. How can you be imam without any knowledge? All right, number 3, quickly. Security, physical protection. Not spiritual, not food, but actual what? Physical protection. All right, Tayyib, number 3. Number 4. Huh? What role is that? Savior? Spiritual savior?
Can we hear from the sisters, brother?
Nah, not yet. What's the next role, Ikhwan? That's it. So far we got A, we said maintenance, knowledge, security, and saving their souls. That's the only thing that the man has to do. What else?
Yeah, you have to do more than that.
Such as?
Such as let's say like you just say the women, she's sick, she cannot do the job, you know. The men also have to find a way to help the children, even though
The man should help out in the house. He should help out in the house.
It should help in the house, and it should help with the children also.
Help with the children and the chores in the house, even though he's the man who worked outside, who brought home everything. All right, tell you anything else? He has to treat her, he has to be kind. He has to have husnul khuluq. The father has to have good Islamic behavior. He's supposed to have the most best behavior in the house. He's supposed to be the most emotionally intelligent in the house. Not to be impulsive, get mad, get angry, vengeful. All right, Tayyib. What is those are the rules. What are the responsibilities of a father?
He's responsible to find the children good mother first.
So the first responsibility is he has to find a good mother for the children to be in the future. That's the first step of the tarbiyah. Is who you marry. Who you marry. Marrying from a good choice, good stock. Beauty and deen, alhamdulillah. And if not, you have to pick what? The deen, if it came down to it. Many people think that if you're religious or pious, you have to be looking, ugly. Nah, that's wrong. But we're talking about the most outstanding thing. Sister Fulana, brother Fulana's daughter is known for her deen, or she's known for her beauty. Very seldom when you find both outstanding. He can be handsome, talib ilm, he's a sheikh, he's beautiful, mashallah. But we're talking about being known for beauty. So picking a righteous wife before you have children. What else is his responsibility? He got to be physically capable. So anything which makes him physically incapable, he must what? Avoid. So that could be alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, pornography, anything which is messing up his body and which he cannot do and perform his role. It is your job to physically do this. If you drink this, eat this, watch this, listen to this, you can't. You're going to be scared and afraid because of those things that you do. All right, anything else? He can't imitate women. He has to be like, he has to be manly. So if he's running the 2 guard, he shouldn't be trying to be the what? That's a problem. But there may be a time in which he has to what? Pass and run the point. But that's not his primary what? That's not his primary role. And that's where the non-Muslims get it all messed up. A man can pick up a baby. He has to be a rajul. He has to be a man. But it doesn't mean that there aren't things that you may have to You have to put a baby to sleep. You gotta burp a baby, which is primarily a what? A whose job?
You gotta change the diaper.
All right, tight. Let's move forward.
Man, I can go home now.
What are the rights of the father or the husband?
Walk him home.
What are the rights of the father? What are the rights of the husband? His rights, his rights. We don't understand the English. We don't understand the English word, the English. His role is done. His responsibility in brief is done. Now what does he get? Respect. So therefore, if there's a marriage and the husband is not respected, then the marriage is automatically going to be messed up. What is an example of lack of respect for the husband? Quickly. Violence. Her hitting the man. Very common. Speaking back. Her talking back is disrespect. What else? No cooked food. So you come home from working all those hours, you said, I was tired. That's a problem. Get some Chinese. Uber Eats. Allahul Musta'an. Not looking after the children. What do they look like? What do they smell like? Are they asleep? Or just the children just, what were you doing for 12 hours? I was working 2-3 shifts. What did you do for all of that time? All right, what else are his rights? Quickly, guys. This is supposed to be quick.
Yeah, stuff to be protected.
To be obeyed. The woman is supposed to obey the husband as long as it is not haram. So anything which isn't a sin and the husband says do it, the wife must what? Period. End of discussion. So he tells her, I want you to pray. I made Salat al-Isha. I want you to make witr. She has to do what? She has to pray. I want you to give sadaqah. I want you to spend some money. I want you to do this. I want you to make this. She has to do what? She has to do it. I have guests coming over and I want you to serve them. She has to what? It's a must. Not cultural, but if he commands her, then it's a what? It's a must. You'll be shocked how many marriages are destroyed because of violating this basic fundamental principle. I commanded you simple, basic, easy. You came, excuse A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's a problem. All right, what else? What are his rights, his hukuk?
To protect his honor.
His honor is to be protected. What does that mean? Give me an example of that.
She don't do zina or
Zina. His bed is supposed to be pure and clean. He's away, he's at work. She's supposed to be chaste for Allah, first and foremost. First and foremost, Allah is watching her. And then on top of that, as Allah tells us about Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, innahu rabbi ahsana mathwaya. How can I cheat him and deceive him and betray him? All right. Also, protecting the husband's honor is keeping his secrets and his faults. They're to stay in one location, including the mother-in-law, social media. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Those things are to be shunned away from unless it's necessity, a necessity. And she has to ask about it to get her haqq. And if that's not the case, she is to keep his secrets secret. His wealth is to be protected. What else? Anything else from his rights? Intimacy. Okay. We laugh, we joke, people make jokes about it all the time, but you'll be shocked at how many marriages are messed up and spoiled, and the children, the last step in the line, they suffer because of that. And the general rule is the fight and the argument in the kitchen, the fight in the living room, the fight in the car is because of the bedroom. 9 out of 10 times. That's a reality. Culture is a thing. Shyness is a thing. If the husband does not get to intimacy, that's a big problem. I'm tired. I'm sick. I got guests. I just did my hair. Oh no. Oh. That's all from the shaitan. At the same time, the husband is to be reasonable. If your wife is sick, coughing with the flu, you're going to be what? But at the same time, take some NyQuil, some DayQuil, some black seed honey, bismillah, on my haqq. All right, many people, they underestimate this rule of intimacy. That is his right. So a woman, it's not about choice or I'm emotionally. Because the rent was paid, did I say my emotions? I didn't feel like working this week. I was depressed. I was sad. But I did what? I worked. All right. Last but not least, what are his rewards? And there are other rights as well. Can a man say, I don't want this person in my house? Does the woman have to obey him in that?
Huh?
What if he says, I don't want your mother in my house?
How?
She has to stay out, huh? Allahu Akbar. Don't bring your mother in my home. She's a fitna maker. She's a backbiter. She's a slanderer. I'm sorry. We can see her over our house. I don't want her what? Or your family, unfortunately, they do sihr. They have poor aqidah. They still have the cultural shirk with them. I don't want them in my house. Don't go to the bathroom, the bedroom. I don't want them touching anything in my home. The wife has to do what? What if the husband doesn't provide a reason? Is it lawful? You say yes. If the husband says, I don't want your parents over my house, and he doesn't provide any reason, is that lawful? You say no. Why is it not? Why is it unlawful? Silatul Rahim, the ties of kin. So him cutting the ties of kin, he has to do what? And not just control or to harm or to punish her. That's a longer discussion. All right, last but not least, what are the rewards of the husband and the father? Quickly, the rewards. What are the rewards? Jannah, first and foremost. Allah will give him Jannah. How? Why will Allah give him Jannah by being a good husband or good father? How? What's the proof that a good husband or good father will go to Jannah? The best of you. The best get the best, right? So if you're the best, then you should get the best reward. Any other proofs? What's a direct proof that he will go to Jannah? A good father, a good husband. He may get divorced. The wife may not appreciate him, but Allah will reward him. What's the lid for that? It's a simple proof and evidence. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ. Whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. Whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger will go where? Him being kind, providing security, feeding to his wife. Who commanded him with that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are there any rewards in this world? Such as? Reward in this world. Not spiritual reward. Peace of mind. Peace of what? Peace of mind. Happiness. But how can you be happy if you're still fighting and arguing? Your children are ungrateful. They don't want to pray. How are you happy? You're a good husband. You're a good father. They're not listening. How are you happy? It answers the question. How are you happy? You look forward to the reward. You take your mind off of the dunya. Most importantly, if you did your job, you're supposed to do what with the rest? Worry about it or leave it to Allah. Khalas. I did my what? I did my job. That's all that matters. Most of us won't get there though. Because most of us, we're attached to other humans. I need you to thank you, you're the best. Most of us don't look for the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we worry about things. I did my job, the rest is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All right, let's move forward to the woman. What is her role? Quickly.
To rule the husband.
To rule the husband, Allahu Akbar. Now we're talking. All right. Let's keep it real, right? Let's be honest. To run the husband. That's her job. This is my man, right? He's keeping it 100. All right, tell you. Number 2, what's the second role of the wife or the mother? None of you guys are going to mention this one, unfortunately. Honest, that's good. Love and care, that's normal. That's normal. Mention that. There's something more than that. Be loving to the husband. You're getting a little closer now. It's to be what? Affectionate to her husband. Type. There's more. Supportive. There we go. Supportive. She has to be a friend to her husband. And she should be a friend to her husband. She should support her husband when no one else does. And we learn this from the very first time the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam received revelation. Khadija. She did what? She gave him what? Support, comfort. Allah won't disgrace you. You're not mad. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a demon. You did not see a hallucination. Kalla wallahi la yukhzika Allahu abadan. Allah will never humiliate you. Because innaka la tasilu rahima. You keep good relations. You honor your guest. You feed the poor. Wa tasduqul hadith. And you aren't a liar. Just imagine if Khadija wasn't there that night. When we talk about alternate history, what if? What if Khadija wasn't there that night? Just think about it. Be saying, what if, Yani? What if? Imagine if Khadija wasn't there to support the Prophet ﷺ. He was afraid. He was scared. Only Allah knows what have happened. And we know it didn't happen. There's no ifs. It happened. But Allah put Khadija what? There. All right. Then what did Khadija do afterwards? Is that all she did? La, that was worldly. That was worldly. She took him to who? Waraqah, who was who? What was the relationship between Waraqah and Khadija? What did Waraqah do for the Prophet? He reassured him that what? And that the people were what? So many people, they overlook this step. Do you support your husband in his ideas, his endeavors? Do you give him constructive criticism? Are you a friend to him? Or critique and complain and say you're nothing, so on and so forth. Many women, they make this mistake. Tayyib, the next role of the wife is what?
To keep the stove on.
To keep the stove on. Allahu Akbar. Tayyib, anything else? What's the responsibility of the wife or the mother? What does that mean, raising the kids? Letting them do whatever they want to do? Giving them whatever they want? Being too mean, too harsh? Some women are too harsh with their children. What does that mean? What's the first thing the mother should do with the children?
They are first teachers for them.
Teaching them. First and foremost is teaching a child adab, respect, behavior, and showing them how to conduct themselves as Muslims and how to learn and how to study. All right, tell you, what are the rewards of the woman, of the mother? What are the rewards should she look forward to? Why will Allah be pleased with her for practicing her culture? Whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger, obeying the husband is from obedience to? Talking back to her husband, even though the husband could be what? Wrong. The husband could be what? Wrong. But she says, khalas, it's done. The argument is over. Most of us ignore this. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, Ana za'imun bi baytin fi rabat al-jannati liman taraka al-mira'a wa in kana muhiqqan. I promise a house in paradise for the one who doesn't argue even if they're right. How many of us can say that? Honestly, most of us argue and fight when we're what? Wrong. Who can say, khalas? Even though I know what? You're tripping. I know, but I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to fight with you because you're older than me. Or because you're the leader, you're the imam. I gave you advice, you don't, no problem. I'm not going to fight with you anymore. Most of us fight even when we're wrong. So many women, they think and they feel that I have the license to fight with my husband, to argue with him, and to go back and forth with him because I'm right. And that is a major trick of the shaitan. It's a big trick. Tell you, what other rewards does a woman get? Security. She may not get security from her husband. Her husband may not appreciate her. In this world. Her children. How many times the woman loves the children, but the relationship between her and her father is off. But the children make her day and keep her happy. And Allah Azza wa Jalla, if He takes something away from you, He always gives you something in that place. That's a fact. The bad marriage is a messed up marriage, but she says, I have Abdurrahman. Allah gave me Abdurrahman through you. And she's happy with that. And that's a major, major reward. Last but not least, the children. What role do the children play in a Muslim household or the family?
Respecting parents.
Respecting parents. That's a responsibility. What role do they play?
Disturb.
Disturb? Do not to put them in mercy.
All right, let's ask a question, guys. What came first? You guys want to laugh, but it's a serious question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I told you guys were going to laugh. Why? Why did chicken come first? Why?
Egg come from chicken.
The chickens are.
So there was 2 eggs.
What's the proof that the chicken came first?
Duck.
Simple question.
Your brother.
All right, tell you. All right, perfect. So everybody is saying that the chicken came first. How did the chicken come? Allah created it. He said be and it was. So why can't that be with the egg? Right or wrong? Allah created the heavens and earth, the trees and the mountains. Yes, right or wrong? That was before man was on earth. So what's the proof that the chicken is before the egg? Allahu Alam. Most people say the chicken first. My last piece of advice with regards to the children is if the man and the woman can be on the same page, and if they can fix their relationship and strengthen their relationship, then it's automatically going to translate to the children. And that's because there was the man and the woman before the children. That's the moral of the story. What does Allah say about the chicken and the egg in the Quran? Anybody know? Zubair. What does Allah say about the chicken and the egg in the Quran? You have a clue. Think about what you said. Tulijul Layla. وتولج النهار وتخرج الحي وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق. Some of the Salaf al-Salih, they said, and you take the living from the dead and the dead from the living. Al-bayda min al-dajaja. The egg from the chicken. You'll find it in the tafsir as an example of something that's dead and then it becomes hay. So the more the story, al-maqsood. What I'm trying to point to is working on your children. That in itself is a major task. That's a series of lectures, providing for them, but not spoiling them. Disciplining them, but not abusing them. Favoritism is a big problem we suffer from with children. Big problem. We have favorites among our children and we show it. This child does it, no problem. The next child does it, we scream at them. That's a problem. This child is rewarded with everything, this child gets nothing. And we know this from Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, the harm of favoritism and showing favoritism. Ittaqullaha wa'adilu bayna awladikum. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, fear Allah and be equal to your children. So there's so much to talk about concerning the children. Tarbiyah, Islamic school, tahfidh, how to provide for them, so on and so forth, boys, girls, etc. One of the keys of taking a shortcut is you and your wife being on the same page. The stronger you and her are, in most cases, the easier it is to handle the children. And the more you and her are on a different page, mentally, physically, not sleeping with each other, not sitting with each other, not eating with each other. You used to have a cup of tea every morning together, coffee. That no longer exists. The small, simple things. You're not on the same page financially. Your budget, her spending, your spending, etc. Working. Why do you need to work? Because you're not providing. So on and so forth. So if the husband and the wife, if the mother and the father can be on the same page, it's going to automatically trickle towards the children. Walaks, alaks. And if you're off, then it's going to trickle down to the what? Children. So you need to think about the chicken sometimes before the egg. Good chicken, good hen, in most cases, is going to be a what? Good egg. Strong chicken, strong rooster, that automatically translates to what? Soup, food, huh? Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. Inshallah, we'll leave some time for the questions. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We don't want the session to be too long. It's already been too long. Hopefully the point was clear. The nasiha. Okay? Ad-dinu nasiha. Ad-dinu nasiha. Ad-dinu nasiha. Qulna liman ya Rasulullah. For whom is nasiha? Purity, honesty, keeping it real, being honest, sincere advice. Bayatu Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I gave my oath of allegiance to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali says, ala sam'i wa ta'a wa nushu li kulli Muslim. To listen, to obey, and to be honest and upfront with every single Muslim. So the advice to the men, the fathers, the husbands, fear Allah. Know your role, play it well. Know your responsibilities, take care of them well. Know your rights, demand your rights, and sometimes don't demand your rights. Sometimes you're not going to get everything that you deserve. And most importantly, the greatest and biggest reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in this dunya, if you're a good father, a good husband, and you don't get it the way you want and the way you think, Allah will give it to you somehow, some way. There's no way the law is going to waste good. That's a law, a rule of nature. Women, sisters, they have to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have no business asking your husband this, or questioning, or controlling, or bossing, because that's not your role. You don't have enough time in a day to fulfill your role and your responsibilities. When do you find a 25th hour or 26th hour to fulfill the role of the husband? And the same applies as well. Overcritical of your wife, micromanaging your wife, being controlling over every single thing. Do you have enough time to go to work, to go to the masjid? Why are you even in this room asking about this and that, specifics of the children? Most marriages crash because of that. Because the people don't know their roles. وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنثَى. The male is not like the female. The male has a role and the female has a role. And of course, my advice for the young brothers and sisters is to fear Allah. Don't say things like, you don't know, you don't understand, you can't relate to me. That's disrespectful to say that to your parents. Why do you feel that your parents can't relate to you? They were once your age. All of the stuff that you know about and you can relate to, who enabled you to get that? Why are you even 18 if it wasn't for your mother and your father? They can relate to you, but just not in a way that you want them to relate to you 100%. So be respectful to your parents. Be obedient to your parents. Make dua for your parents. And if you see your parents doing something wrong, you give them advice, nasiha. You advise your father, Abi, that's not the best thing to do. He may get mad, he may get upset, but eventually he'll respect it. He'll respect it. Every man is going to respect his son or his daughter that has the courage to give them nasiha. If and when everybody is giving each other advice, nasiha, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, wal-mu'minun wal-mu'minatu ba'dhum awliya ba'dhin, then bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, our marriages, our homes, and of course our masjids would be better, because the masjid is a reflection of the home is a reflection of the masjid. You bring your home problems to the masjid problems to the home, and you project it and throw them on others. And that's wrong. That's wrong. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يلهمنا الرشد والسداد في القول والعمل أن يوفقنا للسداد في القول والعمل. May Allah Azza wa Jalla make our statements correct and our actions correct. May Allah inspire us, guide us, and give us the truth and keep us firm upon the truth. May Allah Azza wa Jalla give us beneficial knowledge of the religion and allow us to act upon that and call others. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala abdi wa rasulihi nabiyina wa imamina Muhammad. Wa jazakum Allahu khairan. Anything? Abu Habib? Asila? Bismillah. If there are any questions, now is the time, inshallah. Nafis, fadal. Ish? Keep it. Bismillah. If everybody can listen up, please. We have a few questions, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. No problem. Right after Habib. Fadal. That's a part of the Quran. No doubt about that. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ. That's a command.
Like families that are struggling with that. Families that are struggling with that. The husband's being patient with the wife or the wife.
Give them an incentive, a reward. So you want your children to get up for Fajr? Example, take them to get something to eat. Have a good breakfast. Give them some type of incentive, a worldly incentive to look forward to. That's what I would say. A worldly incentive. Make it special. Make it memorable. Especially if they're young. You wake up, you're tired, you were brave, you got out your sleep. I'll buy you something. We'll go get some donuts after the salah. And you'll be shocked. Something so small, so cheap, can mean a world to a little child. I get free donuts? Really? And that would be an incentive for them to want to wake up. And we're humans, we're creatures of incentives. And this is why Allah Azza wa Jal promises maghanim, spoils of war. Are you fighting for dunya? But Allah says that you will what? You take those maghanim. That's an incentive. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Fadl akhi.
Some of people, when the Prophet saw that some of people say wajabat, after some people said he was a good guy, and he said wajabat. And when another person also passed away, people said bad stuff about that person. He said wajabat. I
Clear.
ask about the meaning of that hadith, because some people, they might be some munafiqun, some fasiqun.
Understood.
Meaning of that hadith.
Antum shuhada'ullahi fil ard. What are the chances of a large number of believers all coming together saying good about a Muslim that was a munafiq or a fasiq? How bad could he have possibly been? One person didn't know, one person thought bad about him, a few people versus a large number, this whole masjid, they all said good about him. May Allah have mercy upon him, he was this. What's the chances of that? They're slim. And whatever mistakes or slippings that the person had, they were clearly unknown to the people. And that in itself is a level of piety. Because it's not about you being fake and you being behind doors of fasiq, but it's about that you have a level of control over those sins. So right now, if I have a drinking problem, a major drinking problem, eventually, somehow, some way, someone's going to what? They're going to smell it, they're going to see a bottle, they're going to see me drunk. But for argument's sake, every now and then I drink and you have no knowledge of it, that's bad. I should be fearing the law behind closed doors. But that shows that I have a relative what on my drinking problem? What? Some type of what? Control. Some type of control. That's a fact. And that's the first telltale signs of someone who has a major addiction. They don't have what? Control. It's clear that they've lost control. Understand? Wajabat, clear as day. Antum shuhada'ullahi fil ard. You are Allah's witnesses on earth. So the people, they're not going to come together and unite upon good or bad, except that it was factual in most cases. One person said something bad, he did this to me. 50 righteous people are all saying the same thing. He was a zalim, he stole money, he did this. In most cases, that's what? La shak fi dhalik. There's no doubt about that. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Wa yakum. Fadl akhi.
So my father gets government assistance that allows him to hire a caregiver, and they also allow the family members to do this. So my father has been very adamant to getting us to help him, but he doesn't want us to go to his home to actually do the work. So that money that we receive, if we do that, is that allowed?
The father hires you, that's permissible. Money can be exchanged between family members as long as it does not infringe upon which is wajib.
The money's coming from the government.
Clear. If it's lawful for him, that's a different discussion. But he gets the money, he gets the check, and he hires you. Does he have to pay for you? You're big, you're grown. Your father isn't in charge of nafaqah anymore for you. So he can hire you. It's permissible. It's like giving zakah. I gave nafaqah to my little son, and I also gave zakah to another son that I already paid the nafaqah for, or a wife. The problem is, I owe you nafaqah, and I just give you the check or give you the zakat and say, oh, take the nafaqah. La, they're two different things. Clear on that? So that's lawful bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Wallahu alam. Fadda Abu Habib. Phones and marriages. I don't think the problem can be resolved. How can you resolve the problems with phones and marriages? Phones and marriages, they can't be resolved. The only way they can possibly resolve is both people have to fear Allah concerning their phones and concerning others' phones. Is it your place to check this person's phone? Is that your place? Maybe it is, but maybe it isn't. What is the ruling on spying and snooping and having suspicions? If it's your own device, it's you and Allah. Allah sees what you're looking at and watching and streaming and downloading and listening to. So you have to fear Allah. So the moment the people, once again, those four things, my role, this is my phone, not your phone. I'm responsible for this phone, not you. These are my rights. You don't have the ability to go through what? And the rewards is that I get the chance to use my device if and when, whenever I want to, because what? Because of the first three things. It's mine, I pay the bills, it's my personal space. Now, in the moment someone infringes, goes through the passcode, uses my finger when I'm asleep to open it up, you may find something which is uncomfortable. And ignorance is bliss. Don't ever forget that. Ignorance is bliss. That's a true statement. And if something was that bad, and Allah chose to keep it away from you, that in itself is a level of bliss. If it was that bad and harmful, Allah would have what? Would have shown you. It could be bad. But how damaging was it that you were, it clearly didn't affect your life. You woke up in the morning and you went to sleep at night. Did it affect you? It didn't. Clearly showing you that what? It wasn't what? But so terrible. So when you snoop and you sneak, you find things that are uncomfortable. And this is from the wisdom of Allah telling us, وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. Don't spy. وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. So be mindful of that. So the husband has to fear Allah with his phone. Yes. You can't be looking at haram stuff. A'udhu billah min dhalik. The woman can't be looking at haram stuff. And there are things with phones that people look at which may not necessarily be X-rated stuff, but it's unbefitting. Watching this reel or this show, that woman is uncovered. She's not your mahram. You're not supposed to be looking at her. That man is uncovered. You're not supposed to be looking at him. He's not your mahram. You're not supposed to be enjoying that show. Shaitan whispers to everyone. So at the end of the day, there is the individual responsibility of the owner of the phone, of the device, and then there is the cross responsibility. I have no place going in your phone, period.
What about children, brother? You paying them?
Children as well.
Can you spy on them?
That's not necessarily spying. That's a child. But even so, there is a level of privacy that the child has. That's a fact. Even so, even with the parent. Not fully, but there's a level, especially the older that they get. You can't just come in and out. They can't just come in and out of your room when they want, when they reach a certain age. They have to seek permission because you may see something which is unbefitting. So therefore, I have to fear Allah with my phone. She has to fear Allah with her phone. Snooping, spying, that's a problem. And last but not least, it's time for you to go to sleep and wake up in the morning, put the phone down. Or it's family time. You're supposed to be eating dinner with your wife and you're doom scrolling. Allah, that's a problem. So there are many things with regards to the phone. The phone can be good. It can lead you to Jannah. Or the phone can lead you to Nar Jahannam. Khalida fiha what? Abada. You have to make that choice. Allah gave you the technology. You have to make the choice with the phone. Wallahu ta'ala. But phones can destroy a relationship. That's a fact. And as we mentioned in the talk about pornography, it's a major problem. Husband doesn't want to sleep with the wife because of the phone. Wife doesn't want to sleep with her husband because of the phone. Okay? Jealousy, envy. Marriages are destroyed. Oh, you're talking to another wife. Da, 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 da. That's none of your what? or concern. That's not your role. That's my responsibility. So if everybody plays their role properly, things are going to be better. And many men, it's a fact, many men, instead of talking to their wives or being with their wives, they're scrolling, even if it's not haram, and that's a mushkila. But at the same time, as a wife, you need to make sure that you're doing everything that you can do to get the attention of your husband.
That's a good thing.
Absolutely, both sides. It takes two hands to what? To clap. It's not just one-sided. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
So if you see the Quran coming from the phone, you're not allowed to look at it?
Say that again.
If you see and you're assuming the problem comes from the
See
phone.
or assume, two different things. Which one?
Both.
They're two different things.
Always you see something like,
I see something bad on the screen.
yeah,
I ask you about it.
yeah.
Is this yours? Is this a mistake? Did your phone get hacked? Taqillah versus assume. They're two different things. I think it's something haram on your phone versus shaitan. They're not the same. And if you do assume, you ask the question.
Yeah.
And you give advice. If you fear that your child is suffering from some things, you can give them nasiha. Son, you need to talk, so on and so forth. The Prophet ﷺ says this. You want to get married, you need help, whatever the case may be. And Allah surely knows best.
So you're not allowed to check the phone, right?
Is a man allowed to check his wife's phone? Maybe, mumkin. Maybe a wife can check her husband's phone, but it has to be based off of the relationship that they have. And it can't be a means of bad thoughts. Su'adhan.
Listen. If I want to check the phone and she say there is nothing wrong there, okay, give me the phone. That's nothing wrong. But if there is something, then I ask for the phone, that means she's hiding something.
Not necessarily. I disagree. I disagree. I disagree.
With you too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Give me the phone.
I disagree. La. I disagree. It's like the hadith that we quoted. She said, I had no problem with what my father did. But that's not his place to marry me off without my consent. So for argument's sake, I don't have nothing on my phone, but it's mine. I don't have to show you anything.
I paid the bill, brother.
Even so.
Huh? Yeah, I buy the phone too.
Even so.
I'm gonna put it in the corner.
Even so, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I say this. I'm going to tell you why I say this. No, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I say this. So first and foremost, as I said, if you have that open relationship, love us. This is my passcode, order the stuff, use the GPS, tayyib. But if you don't have that relationship, and you go through the person's passcode or give me the phone, I may say no, not because I'm hiding something, but you're violating my rights. And then once the door is opened up, everything else, where you're this, that. So once you open up that door, it's not going to close that simply. And once you lose trust in a marriage, everything is what? It's over. Once you have to guard and police your spouse, I think it's going to open up the door for shaitan. Check in, you making sure that your brother is good, alhamdulillah. No doubt about that. You see me out of line, hey, sheikh. But it shouldn't be a 24/7, I have to stand over top of you.
No, I know there's not. But
That's what I'm
if
saying.
You see, like you have a problem when she talks to someone, after she texts to someone, and constantly.
That's a different story.
That's your responsibility to check why, who's that person, who's doing this. That's marriage. That's not like going to soccer or whatever. This is marriage, so you see problem coming from there.
Clear.
Yeah, clear, because she don't have friends like around to come.
Something is off.
Yeah,
The time of night, late at night, early in the morning. Unnatural. Some behavior is off.
exactly.
I get it. I understand.
We are allowed to check and ask.
That's a different situation. But that's not just baseless suspicion. That's based off of something. So it's a little different. Versus me just, hey, let me see your phone. What you doing? Give me your phone right now, shit.
Is this coming in the context of the not letting somebody to come to your family or to have somebody that you don't like in your family? Same like you don't like somebody to call your wife or speak with your wife, you have to write for that entering house.
If a man says to his wife, You said, I bought the phone, right? I paid for the bill, right? And I want to have access to your device. If that's what it is, that's what it is. Like I said, if that's the relationship that you have.
Can I add something?
Fadl, bismillah.
Maybe the wife has a picture of her sister who's not covered. Maybe the private messages with her sister is something you should not see. Sister's group. So sometimes there is a privacy thing.
That's why I said this, right? You may see something that you're not supposed to what? See. But he said la. He don't agree with that. Give me the phone, bottom line. Al-Muhim, at the end of the day, all jokes aside, his points are valid, your points are valid. And we mentioned both sides. You may see something that you're what? Not supposed to see. What if she has a video, she went to Walima, sister Fulana, you see her undressed, then what? Then you're not attracted to your wife anymore, or Allahu Alam, what can happen? So there's wisdom in that.
This is what I'm asking is, before we didn't have phone, why did they stop somebody to come in our house? Because they don't want our wives to have a talk with them. And now, like brother wants to know, if he doesn't want somebody to talk with his wife, it's his right to tell her, please, I don't want that person to talk with you.
Understood. That's his haqq. If he says, I don't want you talking to this person, so be it. But that's not the same as someone sneaking and assuming. That's different. That's different. That's different. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Wa yakum. Faddal. Bismillah.
Sheikh is asking, do we need a reason for somebody not to tell our wife, please, I don't want you to see that person? Does he need to have a reason or not?
Do you need a reason or not? What would the Prophet ﷺ do? Whenever he warned from something, in most cases he did what? What did he do?
Bad influence or something.
But what did the Prophet do when he told the companions not to do a thing, not to enter into a place? What did he say afterwards? In most cases he what? What? He only gave a reason and he gave a substitute. Don't say this for inna Allah ... Don't swear by this one, so on and so on and so forth. And then he gave them a what? A substitute. So right now, I'm paying the bills regardless. I don't want you talking to Sister Fulana. Period. Because she's caught up in some fitna. And I don't want that negative fitna in my... No problem. But at the same time, it can't stop there. She can't be alone and lonely, no sisters to talk to. You can talk to Fulana's wife. So the three pieces. They're what? Three pieces. Number one, does the husband have the right to tell his wife not to mess with this one or that one? In general, yes. But it shouldn't what? It shouldn't stop there. The next step should be leave her alone because A, B, clear, not dhann, and not fitna himself. Clear evidence, clear proof, because that will lead you to slandering Muslims and thinking bad and negative of Muslims. Last but not least, I understand you want to talk to sisters, you want to go to the Masjid, these sisters, they're not involved in that fitna. As far as if you just say no, leave her alone, no reason, no proof, and no substitute, trust me, it's not going to stop there. And in most cases, the woman is going to find a way to contact people without you knowing. You have to convince her why you don't need to speak to Sister Fulana. And that's the prophetic tarbiyah. He taught them shirk was bad, why it was bad. Not just don't do it. Why you shouldn't bury your daughter alive. Why you shouldn't kill the person. Why you don't mistreat the orphan. He gave them the ruling, don't do it. And he gave them why. And he gave them a substitute. You have to fill the void. That's the moral of the story. You can't watch this movie because, and instead you should watch such and such. Three pieces. If you want the full package, Yani. Wallahu alam. Fadal.
هل من حق الزوجة عدم طاعة الزوج إن كان زوجها لا يقيم الصلوات الخمسة؟ هل من حق الزوجة عدم طاعة الزوج إن كان زوجها لا يقيم؟
إن كانت المعصية يعني عدم الطاعة زجرا لهذا الزوج أقل ما نقول فيه إنه فاسق ومرتكب كبيرة، أقل ما يقال فيه، فضلا عن تكفيره وفضلا عن خروجه من الملة. أقل ما يقال فيه إنه عاص لله فاسق مرتكب لكبيرة. فإن كانت عدم طاعة المرأة لهذا الزوج الفاسق التارك للصلاة زجرا له وهجرا له فهذا شيء، ولعل هذا من النصيحة ومن الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. أما الكلام في تكفيره فيطول يعني، والله تعالى أعلم. أرجو أن يكون الجواب واضحا إن شاء الله، والله أعلم. English or Arabic, Sheikh? Which one? طيب, the question is, does a woman have to obey her husband who doesn't pray? The man does not make the 5 daily prayers. Can she disobey him? We said this is a major problem, and the least that can be said about him is that he's a major sinner. He may be a kafir. It's possible for him not to be a Muslim, but everyone can agree he's committed a major sin. Leaving off the prayer is a major sin. Everyone can agree on that. So if she doesn't listen to him, and she doesn't obey him to repel him from that, and for him to get the idea and the picture that what he's doing is majorly wrong, then inshallah, yes. However, the problem is, and then I didn't say this in Arabic, what do we do in a situation in which not praying the 5 salah is widespread and common? What will happen? How many people don't pray 5 times a day, daily? A little or a lot? There's no doubt about that. One may even say what? One could say that. One could say that. So if every single time the husband doesn't make all 5 prayers, no ta'ah, what will happen to the homes? So that's a bigger problem. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. And like I said, he may be a non-Muslim. Waliyadhu billah. May Allah protect us from that. Bismillah.
Back home, it's a common practice when people marry, they live with the husband's parents. Sometimes it might be because he can't afford a separate. Can the wife demand a separate house?
Understood. Can the wife demand a separate house? Similar to the question about the phone. That could vary from culture to culture. It's normal in our culture, our race, this is what we do. And for a woman to ask for a separate home, even though I can't afford it, is clearly going against the husband's means. So we say no. However, if there are problems, clear problems, which in most cases there are, the wife is in the kitchen and the mother is in the kitchen. The mother will coexist with the wife as long as the wife knows she's inferior to the mother. This is my house, this is my kitchen, that's my son. As long as you know that, we'll get along. The moment you get a little too big, and then comes the clash. And the husband is stuck in between. You love your wife more or your mother more, etc., etc., etc. So if that's going to happen, then like he mentioned, you stop the problem before it starts. And if the wife says, we need to leave this place, no disrespect to your parents, but we need our own private space. لا شك في ذلك. والله تعالى أعلم. Nafis, follow.
This is a question on behalf of the Shabbat. What are their rights upon their parents, the children?
What are the children's rights upon the parents?
Like the major rights, the father and the mother.
To be merciful to them. And that's overlooked.
The children to the...
Understood. The children's rights or the parents' rights?
The children's rights.
Yes.
On the haq upon
the children's rights over the parents is the parents are to be merciful to them, kind.
And give them a stick once in a while.
Every now, that's kindness too. Yeah, tough love. For sure. Every now and then, there's what? We mentioned that, discipline versus abuse. There's no doubt about that. And if you truly love someone, every now and then you need to what? Straighten them out. Because I what? I want good for you. And you're clearly making a mistake. So this is one of the greatest huquq is rahmah. مَنْ لَمْ يَرْحَمْ صَغِيرَنَا وَيَعْرِفْ حَقًّا لِكَبِيرِنَا فَلَيْسَ مِنَّا. He's not from us. Obviously, the maintenance, that's clear. protecting the children. He mentioned security. And also, I would say befriending your children. It's very important to befriend your children. And most of us, we underestimate this. If you befriend your child, most things that they're going through, they'll talk to you about. But if you just dad or Abby or mommy or mama or baba, and that friendship isn't there, there'll be respect, there'll be love, but I can't talk to you about it because you're not my friend. And the Prophet ﷺ, if you look at the Hadith, he clearly was a friend to the Sahaba. And they felt a friendly relationship. Awsani man khalili bi thalathin, right? So it's very important. Wallahu a'lam. Bismillah. Women upstairs?
It's America. You have to understand very well.
Got you.
My brother, no question. But when are we going to be finished tonight? That's my question.
Question, we can finish whenever you want. You're free to leave, Sheikh.
Come on, pizza is going to go.
Bismillah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala abdihi wa rasulihi nabiyina wa imamina Muhammad. Jazakumullah khairan.
Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.